In this episode, we're talking about 2 surprising indie game sequels, some spiritual successors to classic Nintendo titles, and the most adorable tactics game you've ever seen. All this and more on Indie Game Arcade. Hey everyone, welcome back to Indie Game Arcade, a podcast that deep dives into the latest and greatest indie games. I'm your indie game ace pilot, my name's Chris.
And I'm your barrel rolling buddy, Joseph.
I like that, barrel rolling buddy. Hey,
Can I tell you how hard it is to say barrel roll quickly? Like I have to slow down to say that word. Barrel is just a hard word to say because it just doesn't sound right. It's like
barrel. I feel like it's more because you have such a Texan accent that you guys just don't say R's. You're like barrel roll.
How do you say it?
Barrel
roll.
Barrel
roll.
Do a barrel roll. Yeah, just like that. That's natural, right?
That feels wrong.
Isn't that what Peppy sounds like?
Do a barrel roll.
Hey, I'm gonna call myself out. It took me like 5 takes just to do the intro of this podcast. I am so tired, but
oh man,
yeah, it was not my finest hour, not my finest work, not my finest.
That's
work.
Okay. It gave me time to prep and say barrel correctly.
Yeah,
I almost couldn't string those together.
Yeah, it gave us a real cool joke to start with. Right?
It wasn't even a joke. I'm being serious.
Well, hey, I know a really good speech pathologist to help you out if you really need it. So
I probably do.
Can't fix that Texan accent though. Technically we can, but
I don't feel that I have an accent. But
say the word naked.
Naked.
Oh, okay. You're showing off now because any other time I ask you, you would be like naked.
No, that was the old. That was what I used to say, and I'm going to blame...
That was the old me. That was 2025 me. This is 2026, brother.
No, that was years ago. And I'm going to blame Joe Bob Briggs on that because every time I used to watch Monster Vision as a kid, that's how he would say it. He would say naked. And so that's just how I took it in and kept saying it until I learned that it was naked.
Oh my God. That's great. That's great.
Somebody will understand.
Someone will get it. Someone will get it. Some of our horror fans out there that love horror, because that's the definition.
Because they're fans.
Yeah, let's move on. Hey, let's talk about some of these indie games. So speaking of things that are naked, let's talk about a game with some naked homage to a classic Nintendo title. You see what I did? How was that?
Nice.
How's that as a transition?
Thanks.
Let's talk about First Squadron Phoenix.
Game start!
First Squadron Phoenix, I guess let me just bury the lead here, is such an homage to StarFox 64 in the greatest way ever. This is actually a follow-up to a game that was originally just for Squadron, which was a lot more of a more 2D on-rails shooter. And this one is more of like that 3D kind of feel as far as like
StarFox 64.
Yeah. It also does have some like roguelike elements to it as well, which were very welcome. And I actually did not read that as part of the description when I originally started jumping in and playing the game. So I was actually kind of surprised and like pleasantly so when I died and then was just like, oh, here's mods? Hey, that'll make things a little easier. I like that. Thank you so much. New Slippy. So let's talk about this game a little bit.
Yeah.
One thing I did want to point out real quick was I really like the intro of this because that caught me off guard for one, and two, it's just kind of a cool lead in for like the overall story of you playing as Robin as part of Phoenix Squadron, and your team basically gets like destroyed, and it's like years later, and now you're joining First Squadron as like their new recruit, and they're kind of like getting you back up to speed, and then you're going out along with them for some revenge for your team's demise.
Yeah, but your character doesn't look like someone who is out for revenge at all. It just seems like a sweet Robin. Yeah. And like I like what they did with the voices, where it is just like that weird, like, I don't know, the dialect is just, it's not real words. They're just making noises, but they're such like fun little noises that I got really like attached to it really quick. So you're not getting like there's someone, there's someone following me, Fox, or there's someone on the whatever.
Do a barrel roll.
Do a barrel roll. Yeah, you're not getting any of that. Yeah, but you're just getting like a lot of like funny noises. Every once in a while, some words will come through. So it's like a language they're speaking to each other. And I just thought that was really charming.
Yeah, it's almost like, in a way, it sounds somewhat close to like Japanese in some ways, but it definitely isn't. It's like some kind of like...
Shame on me if it's an actual language. I don't think it is, though. I really
Oh my God. Here's the thing, though. If it is, we're going to look like fucking idiots.
Yeah. Oh my God.
We can't look worse than Shroud, though, when like Shroud was getting all angry about like Claire Obscure, and he's like, that's not even real French, it's like a made up language. And it's like, bro. Oh man.
Okay.
At least we're not that. Yeah.
I will say that like I think it's a made up language, but it might just be because I don't understand any other language than English. So
it seems
just dumb.
Gibberishy to me. With every once in a while them throwing in actual words like you were saying, or like somebody's name or something.
Yeah.
They'll occasionally like throw in there. Which, yeah, I really enjoyed that. I do want to say real quick, because I didn't say it before, the team that made First Squadron, I probably should say who developed that. Real quick, First Squadron was developed and published by Raptor Claw. There you go. I want to mention the characters real quick, because like that's some of the fun of like this kind of thing, and part of the draw is like, if you're going to do like a StarFox style homage, like you got your team, you have to have your team of ace pilots, and you've got the leader, who is Blaze, who I think is supposed to be like a ferret.
Yeah.
And then you've got Kiro, who I couldn't really tell what he was supposed to be, like maybe a wolf, maybe a coyote of some kind. I'm not entirely sure. Do you have a read on that?
I'm definitely getting just like a wolf read, but I'm like, is that just too close to Star Wolf? So maybe it's not, but that's what I took it as.
Then you got Axel, who is like sort of the engineer sort of role, and that is very obviously an axolotl. Which I love that. Axel, here's the thing. Whereas the games that we keep comparing this to have that very obvious, like, Slippy, who is notoriously annoying, Axel is like the complete opposite. Axel's like my favorite in this game.
Axel's so super adorable, but also incredibly useful and smart. So it's like, okay, you're like better Slippy, basically.
You're the upgrade.
Yeah.
The visuals of this are really good too. Like it does like feel like a game in that way that is, from the past, not quite like a 64 sort of era, but like something upgraded from that, like maybe something between like PS2, PS3 in that way.
But very crisp graphics too. Like it's very clean, and it plays really well, very smooth, like gameplay. I saw some people like that were having some issues with like control or something. I didn't have any though. I felt like the controller worked really well and it was very comfortable, and it was all very intuitive. Like I understood how to do whatever it was asking me to do. I died one time before I found out that I had to shoot those boats. Otherwise, they would kill me. But once I learned that, it was all good.
The boats go down quicker than I thought they would, too. Like, I kind of thought it was going to be like, oh, man, like, I need bombs for all of these boats. But no, like, if you get a good shot in, they'll go down. On top of that, too, like, I want to say, like, the level design that I've seen so far is pretty great. And one thing that I did read about this, too, and I don't think I replayed enough to really have seen that in action, but from what I understand, the enemy placement is randomized. So like any like big set piece kind of things, like if like a mini boss kind of thing is going to come in, or a boss, like that's always going to happen at the same point in every level. But as far as like where all of the other enemies and stuff are, like they're going to come in from different like areas of the screen, from different obstacles, at different points and stuff.
I would disagree with that, unless it's like levels outside of the tutorial level and then the first level. Like maybe after that starts happening, but I did play the first level twice and I didn't notice any different enemy placement, especially because there was one specific boat that was kind of off screen over to the left a little bit. And so it would always like get a shot off on me because I couldn't even like see it to shoot it. So I was like, okay, I think it's all just kind of like on rails with everyone in the same place. But since it does have the roguelike element to it, then I'm assuming you're right with the actual full release game where there's some randomization to it.
And it could be different between, there's two modes, or like two level types. So you've got your simulation levels, which is basically like Robin's training and stuff. And in those, even if you lose, you're still able to like earn currency for mods. So, and I mean, essentially that's kind of like the roguelike aspect of it, right? Is like upgrading things of your ship, upgrading, you can even get like different skins for your ship and getting like new weapons and abilities and stuff, which is one thing that I really like about adding to a game like this, is not having just like the lasers and the bomb, but also getting things like a steady laser beam or something. Like there's a bunch of different stuff that you can get. The other side of that is like the story mode or the story levels and stuff. And those, if you lose, you don't get any earnings towards that kind of stuff. So like that one is a little bit more higher stakes. And I really do appreciate that difference.
That's kind of interesting because that makes it like a roguelike when you're doing the VR missions, like the virtual reality, but then it turns into the actual campaign when you're playing the story.
Right.
And that which is very unique in the roguelike like aspect of it, because I would have assumed, had you not just said that if you die in any part, you get those upgrades in currency, but that makes more sense this way. So I wonder what does happen if you die during like a story mission. Like, does it just reset you to like a checkpoint? Do they acknowledge it and like, oh, you crashed, but we saved you in the last minute? Or is it like you're actually like just starting from like before you went on that mission? You know what I mean?
I'm assuming you're starting from like before you go on that mission.
Okay.
Yeah, you're gonna have to just do it over, right?
Yeah, game over. Yeah, I hope someone screams my name as I die, just like they would on StarFox, like Fox. Instead, it's gonna be like Robin. No. Yeah, I want that. Like, give me that.
Too many syllables, though.
That I know. Just call me Rob, maybe. I don't know.
Rob.
Like,
or
do you read
Ben.
Do you read Robin as male or female, or is it just like intentionally?
I read Robin as Red Robin. I read Robin as female, but I don't know for sure, obviously. But like I was kind of getting a female vibe, but I'm not sure.
Could be intentionally ambiguous.
Yeah.
And Robin is one of those names too. So
yeah, exactly. So
right on.
But like overall, like what'd you think of this one? Like, is it one that you think like really lives up to the genre?
I think I haven't played like an actual Star Fox-esque game in a very long time.
I know I haven't either.
I don't know like if there are some out there that are like obviously better or whatever, or like really popular, but this one, as far as like my first one in a long time, it was really enjoyable. Like it took me back nostalgia wise to those on-rail shooters, and what I enjoyed about them, which is like really trying to perfect my run kind of deal. And it does have that element to it as well in the points that you're getting from it. I don't know like how that also translates into the story mode, but I assume it's about the same. And I just love how like grand some of these like levels and battles feel. Honestly, like the response that I was getting during combat just felt really, it just was really rewarding to be fighting these enemies, taking them out, and being able to like respond to shots coming back at me. Like you can do that little barrel roll so that you're deflecting
roll.
shots and blocking things. And you can do them like pretty quickly too. And there are mods you can upgrade to that make that faster and like give you better defense. And then like when missiles are coming out, you're able to shoot the missiles down if you're fast enough. I appreciated the charge aspect of it. What I actually, you know what? Like that's one thing I'll say, like, if I could make any kind of like request to this game, and I don't think StarFox was like this either. I think it was like very true to its like inspirations. But if we could have when you hold down the button, if it would just like rapid fire, and then a separate button was a charge shot. You know, like like if A is my fire button, let me hold it down instead of having to tap it multiple times while I'm trying to like shoot something. Because it's really hard to tap something that quickly while you're trying to aim at a small enemy. And that became kind of like, it was never like something that was game breaking or anything like that, or like a deal breaker for me. But it was one that was like, man, it would be nicer if I could just hold this button down and like kind of stream my shots across all these small enemies instead of wasting a charge shot on them, taking the time to do that. Because some of them are so fast, like they'll get off the screen before I have time to react to it if I'm not like pinpoint accurate as I'm mashing this button. So that would be like a small thing that I wish I could change. But again, it doesn't like ruin the gameplay at all for me.
I 100% agree with that, because I remember like I'd forgotten about this, but I was playing it again earlier today. And I remember mashing that button, you know, with my thumb to fire those shots and thinking, I wonder if this is how I get carpal tunnel. Like, is this going to be the one that does it? Because man, my thumb started getting a little sore there. So that would be great.
It's just like the way that your target moves across the screen. You have to aim it obviously with the dual sticks. Like it's hard to keep on target and like tap that button at the same time. So that was my only like not even complaint, just like a wish that I have towards that. Otherwise, I really enjoyed it though. What about you?
Oh, absolutely. Like everything that you said, I'm 100% on board with. Again, along with what you said, I haven't played a game like this for a long time, which is why I think my head keeps going back to the one that I know, which is 64. You know, the one I played the most, especially as a kid. But it's like I have so many. I'll say this for it, because I hold Star Fox 64 up in such high regard, because like I played that game so often, so much. I beat it so many times because it was one of my favorite games. It was actually the first game I ever bought for the 64.
Wow.
This, like, I feel like this one really had to impress me for me to be like, hey man, like this is up there, you know, along with it. I really think this game does an incredible job of like nailing the exact sort of like feel. I'm not going with like look and stuff, because it really stands out for itself, but the kind of feel that you had back then of like flying into, you know, Corneria for the first time or something. Like I was definitely feeling that again here. So if like their goal was to like, hey, transport one of those millennials back into the early 90s again to experience, you know, some of that childhood nostalgia and also just have a sick fucking game, they definitely achieved that goal, because I 100% was just like, man, this is one of those games that like I feel like I really needed to experience from an indie game developer. So it's definitely going to be one that I would be recommending to other people. Like anytime someone brings up like, you know, a Star Fox game or something, I would be like, hey, have you seen this game? Please check this out.
Yeah, so, like check out First Squadron if you want that more modern but still classic feel that you got from that game. That makes me wonder though, like, is this a type of game, on-rail shooter, since it's really like kind of rare these days, is that something you think like the current generation would enjoy, or like people who didn't experience it like we did as kids?
That's hard to say. Like I don't know. And I think really I'm just not sure, just because there hasn't been so many, but like it could be a case of maybe this will help start to kick some of those things off. Like maybe we'll start to see an uptick in that. We know that there's another one coming this year too.
Oh, I'm so excited about that one. The tailspin looking one. God, I always forget the name of it though.
I think it's like Wild Blue or something. It's something with blue. I know that much. But like the one that's created by someone that was originally part of the original Star Fox development team. working on that one.
Oh,
So it's
Wild
like
Blue Skies. Yeah.
Wild Blue Skies.
You're
Yeah.
so close. Nice. Yeah. That one, this is a good year for these in a way that it's like, it feels like it's been such a dead space for a while, at least. Again, there's probably some I missed along the way, but these are just such standouts to me. And if Wild Blue Skies is anywhere near as good as this one was, even just playing the demo, then it's going to be like a contender for like game of the year for me, or like one of my games of the year, just because of how much fun I'm having with it and how much it's taking me back to those times of like sitting on my floor playing N64.
Yeah. With that controller that you only use like 2/3 of because a third of it is benign.
God, those are controllers that like I see them bringing them back in certain forms, and I'm just like, I could not go back to that. That would just feel
loved
so
them.
weird to me.
I loved them just because of how they looked and just because I have a nostalgia for it.
Yeah,
but
I would buy it to hang it up somewhere, but I would never want to touch it.
But back on track, yeah. It only takes one really good game to inspire like a whole new subgenre of of indie devs to keep that going. Because I mean, we look at something like Balatro or Vampire Survivors, like we didn't have games like that, 2 or 3 years ago, right? And now we have like more games like those coming out. Yeah, like every month. Every single month we have like 5 new ones. So it's just like, yeah, all it takes is something like this game to inspire a whole bunch of devs. And then, yeah, we might see a big boom in it. So, and this game, I think, deserves it. So,
yeah. So definitely recommend this one.
Yeah. Let's talk about another game I would love to recommend for like a bunch of different reasons. Let's go with Dobbel Dungeon. This was developed and published by GamePie, which is cute. And it matches because this is such a cute game. This is a cute little like claymation designed tactics RPG. And this caught me off guard a little bit, just in the idea that it looks so adorable. Like my head keeps saying like baby's first tactics RPG, like in my head, just because of like how it looks and everything, because it's so cute looking. But like there is quite a bit of like tactical depth you can get from it, especially like within the actual battles and everything, because it isn't always just a cut and dry, battle, defeat. Like they'll throw like a whole bunch of like extra things at you. Like sometimes it's just herding chickens or oh
my God, yeah,
doing the escort missions and stuff. And it isn't just defeat the enemies, but like you have like more enemies constantly spawning, and you have to like figure out how to mitigate those things. And I love that it is taking like tons of different elements and throwing all of them at you in like new and exciting ways, but with this just sheen of adorable claymation little guys that almost look like almost like pop figures in a way, to best describe it. And that's not
an insult to these.
No, not at all.
At all.
I absolutely adore this thing so much.
Yeah. The art sold me so hard on it even before like playing it, that I was like, I at least have to try this game because it looks so good. The art is obviously very appealing. The animations very solid, gameplay smooth, and it just like, I was expecting it to be, I'm not saying like it's hard or anything, at least not yet in like the stages that I played through. I got to like the boss of the initial area that you get to explore in the demo. I didn't get to play that level because I literally just reached it right before we started recording, but
nice.
I enjoyed all the levels up to that point. And there is some complexity to it where it's like, okay, I have to think a little bit, especially if I want to, maybe if you're just trying to run through and complete only the main mission, it would be like a lot more manageable. But if you're trying to do the main mission and the multiple like bonus quests that you get inside each mission, that's where it's like, okay, I need to think this through. It's more of like a mental puzzle of like, how do I take out this enemy without letting this villager take damage? Or how can I, with what I have available, take out 2 enemies with 1 spell, which was one of the things I had to do in one of the last mission I did. It's like, okay, well, I just picked up a fireball that could do that, but I have to roll 2 dice of the same face to do that. And I only have 2 dice with this character. So it's like, I just have to get lucky and or like hope my reroll serves me well. on one of my dice. So there's a lot to it that you can like start to get in the weeds a little bit of the complexity of the mechanics. It's nothing that's overly complicated, and it's very straightforward in telling you like what each upgrade does when you start going through the skill tree, and like the items are pretty self-explanatory. So it's like there are these nice additions to it that make it feel like more than just a cute game, but it doesn't feel overly complex that it's like going to turn anyone off because it's too hard or too like I don't know, too complex to just
advanced.
enjoy for just the aesthetics alone.
Yeah, and like I was joking when I said like baby's first tactics RPG, but like I do think on some level this is a really great introduction to the genre, and one especially for like a younger audience or something, because of like the look and feel of it all, and because I think the UI and the layout of everything, like the grid system and everything, is so readable and so clean, like much cleaner than a lot of games, even games that I absolutely love. Because sometimes there's just so much to handle and look at. Like you think of a game like this compared to something like Divinity, and like just how advanced and complicated that game can get. And it's like, man, no one is going to like jump into that game as their very first one and you know, be successful right away. Where I feel like this one, you can jump in right away, understand really quickly what you need to do and how to do it, and start learning the nuances of everything, and start like planning and stuff as you kind of level up and go along. And the one thing that I really liked about it too was when I first started unlocking some of those characters, like, you know, the druid and stuff, I was not crazy about some of the skills, especially that the druid had. But I noticed as leveling up, and you do kind of share like the points for the skill tree across your entire party, which I didn't realize at first because I kept leveling up Christian. And I'm like, wait, I don't have anything for the others? What happened? Then I was like, oh, I got to remove points and then distribute. Nice. But I realized that some of the stuff that I didn't like, I could actually remove from like the druid and then put them into something else. And then that felt like way better. I'm like, oh, okay, so I can personalize him more to the kind of way I want to play his class. So I'm like, okay, I want a little bit less, like, I don't want him to just make everybody wet, you know, as like one thing.
Let me get rid of that dumb water spell that only does 3 damage always.
Yeah.
Until I am ready to get like the lightning spell, because then I could make them wet and then shock them with lightning to have some kind of combo. So 100%. There's cool things in there that allow you to do that. I picked up there's a shop in there as well, and I picked up this epic staff that was for sale. It's a purple staff. And what that did was like add bonus things to lightning spells, and I didn't even have lightning spells yet. So I was just like, okay, well, eventually I'm going to get these, and that will be useful to me. And then once I did, then it's like automatically adding essentially what would be upgrades that you would put on your spells, like, you know, add 2 to the count or let you cast something in extra time or whatever. And so that was really cool, just seeing how the items themselves are kind of giving you power-ups in the same way that a skill would, but without having to pick up a skill to do that. And I just really thought that was a cool way to kind of like work these skills out. So I think this, to your earlier point, is just like an incredibly like readable and like manageable system that feels super clean and just so easy to just understand what I'm doing, because the numbers are small. It's not like over the top, like, oh, I'm doing 127% extra damage. It's like, okay, cool. What does that mean number wise? It's just telling me it's like, okay, you're going to do like +2 extra damage. It's like, cool. That's all I need to know. And then it's also got the element of dice to it, which obviously is the biggest point. We haven't even talked about that really yet, which is there's a randomness to it, where in a lot of these games you have your hit rate, or like your chance to hit, chance to miss kind of deal, where it's like, okay, well, I only have a 50% chance to hit. That sucks because like I'm going to use this real powerful spell. In this, it's like all dependent on the dice that you're rolling. Some spells only accept like certain kinds of dice, like if they're odds or evens, or like I was talking about earlier, if I have to have 2 dice in it and they both have to be the same face. But there are some spells, more general spells, that just only require a single dice, but they get bonus damage based on like how like big your roll is. So if I roll a 6 and it's got a +2 to it, I'm doing 8 damage right away. Simple math. It's not challenging to understand that, but it is easy to see where some randomness will come into it without the opportunity or without the chance of me missing something. Sometimes it's worse to, like, if I'm only going to do like 2 or 3 damage with the thing, sometimes it's better for me to just hold back and use that as a bonus action to like run away or something, because I know I'm not going to kill this enemy. So let me make a smart strategic choice. But it takes the element of like, oh, I might miss and that'll just ruin my whole turn out of it all, which is, nothing against like more complex games. Like, I love Baldur's Gate 3 for multiple reasons and other games like it, but that's something where it's like, this is a lot more straightforward. You kind of know what you're getting yourself into, which I think is what I was saying earlier about it being more of a puzzle type thing. I think that just reinforces that further for me.
I 100% agree with that. I also really like the idea too that some of the classes and stuff are not the classes you'd kind of expect. Like some of them are very like cookie cutter as far as like you have a druid, you have like a warrior, there's a barbarian, but then like you have a pirate, and that's just cool. Like,
oh, do you know how many classes there are?
I think 9. It's like 8 or 9.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. And then you unlock them as you go. I think I had read up on some of the other ones too, but I don't remember what they are. I really like the, I don't know what she's called, but like the fire mage kind of lady that you've got. She's like a fire cat woman, essentially.
Kind of like a demon, because she has horns, I think, unless those are ears.
Yeah.
I can't tell.
She is my favorite so far because, man, I was doing so much damage with her. Honestly,
she's
like
glass damagey, glass cannony for sure.
She just one-shots everything for me. So yeah, she's definitely my favorite right now.
It looks like there's like a ninja type also. There's a bunch of different like classes, and they all have that cute aesthetic to them. The one thing, it's not a game where the equipment that you have on them is going to show up on your character, unfortunately, but that's totally fine because they already have such appealing like models that I don't really care that much about that in this sense. But what you see is what you get when it comes to these characters.
It's such a fun game, and I'm just excited to play some more of this one and kind of see how it goes. And hopefully see if they do any DLCs or something in the future to see if they add more classes or more adventures or something. That's definitely something I'm going to want to be on the lookout for.
Yeah, is that the team's first game?
Yeah, first game.
The first one listed at least, so man, what a start.
Heck yeah.
Power up!
Hey, if you're enjoying this episode so far, do us a favor and throw us a like, a follow, share the episode or the podcast with folks who love indie games so we can get more of these game recommendations out there and support indie game devs. We also have that YouTube channel at youtube.com/nerdsloth where you can catch us playing more indie games or check out our top 5 and top 10 series for even more indie game recommendations, because we believe there is an indie game out there for everyone.
Get ready!
I played a lot of indie games this week, but I know that you had a really, really busy week. You weren't able to play as many.
Yeah, I
made
played
up for it.
3, including the 2 that we just talked about.
Yeah, I made up for it. Let me talk about Under the Island real quick. So this one was the Zelda-like that is like very akin to Link to the Past and Minish Cap. And this one was like, man, this felt really good. In the way that I talked about Girl from Arcania last year, or Arcania, that's what it was. And Spindle being my favorite of the 2 of those. This definitely goes up with that echelon of like those 3 of like, we are doing really good for like Zelda-likes lately. And this one is definitely keeping that streak going. The main thing is like you are playing as this girl who goes to this island with her parents. And this island, she finds out, is about to sink unless these magical ancient gears can be collected and assembled, which kind of sends her on this adventure. Something that I really love about this, it is extremely self-aware that it is a Zelda-like, with the greatest joke I think I have ever seen in any kind of game like this. Of like, she meets this character, this like spirit guru-ish kind of character that, you know, is kind of giving her the plot, right? Of like, this is what's happening. This is what this island really is. this evil thing is going to happen. Here, open this chest and get this, ancient weapon to help you in your quest to fix all these things for us. And you go and you walk up the stairs to open the giant chest, and you open it and you find a note. And that note says something akin to, "Sorry, bro, I needed the sword. Take this." And you get a hockey stick. And I was like, oh my God, that is so good.
Nice.
I love that. There is like a pervading like sense of humor that's like akin to that through the entire game, but it's not like overpowering or anything. Like it's not like a game that's just pure comedy for comedy's sake. It is just, has like that sensibility to it where it's just kind of got some silliness and goofiness at times, and it's just fun. It's one of those that you travel to different biomes. You're trying to collect those gears. The first biome, it was interesting because like I did not realize at first that I was going into the dungeon, quote unquote, when I did, because like I thought, I was like being told, hey, go help, these people, go help this farmer who is, he's seeing weird stuff happen at his farm. And I get there and he's like, yeah, there's weird shit going on in my greenhouse here. Maybe you can help. And I go in there. That greenhouse ends up becoming the dungeon. And like, there's so much going on in there. And what I really like about it is there are so many more puzzle elements to this that use the same kind of elements that you would expect in a Zelda game where you're like moving stones and, doing other things. But they use all of those elements you're familiar with it with way more intricate ideas and new ideas that I did not expect. Like there's one that was kind of a moving stone puzzle, but like there was so many other things that you had to do before you could even move those stones to do it. Like you had to get this special weapon that shoots a flame, and then you had to like burn like this hedge that would in series burn all the hedges in like this arcing line around it that would let you get up to this one stone that needs to be pushed aside to then shoot your flame at another thing of hedges that has to like burn all of those so you can get up to another stone and push that stone aside to go and finally get to this chest that you need to open to get a new weapon to be able to like progress through the biome. It's stuff like that. And it was just really, really cool. So I very much appreciated this. The very first boss was like just completely different than what I expected. Like you are beating off waves, and I realized I just said beating off, which is great. Waves of these little like tree kind of people who are trying to sneak backstage at this like performance of this one lady who's about to like go on and sing and stuff, and you're charged with basically being like the bouncer for a little bit, and you have to keep everyone back, and you're using your hockey stick like hitting everybody and then shooting your fire at everyone. And it is chaotic, but that is like the conclusion of that dungeon. And it was just so much fun and so unexpected in all the things that it does. And that's what felt very refreshing about this game. So a Zelda-like that throws so many surprises at you that I absolutely would not have expected and absolutely loved.
I remember looking at this with you, I think last week, and just commenting on how much I love the pixel art for it. Like that feels...
Oh, yeah. It's good.
Like one of the main selling points of it, just because it looks so clean. And I appreciate the humor that you're saying it has as well. It just looks like a good game overall. Is this one that you would like play all the way through, you think?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I would.
I'm glad it's doing something different. It's not like a straightforward, like, young hero saves the day type thing. It has twists and turns, and you're kind of a unique character in that situation with a unique weapon, the hockey stick, like you were saying.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'd be curious to see like how this one actually plays out. You're right. Like this is one I definitely want to play as well.
Let's talk about Forgotlings real quick. This one, so I didn't realize this at first, but this is actually a follow-up to Forgotten Anne, which is a game that I actually have and still have never played. So Forgotten Anne was kind of like a platformer, like a really story-rich sort of platformer. And
God, back from 2018. I
Yeah,
remember
and
this one.
it's very much like well known for like its animation style and stuff. And Forgotlings, I keep saying Forgottenlings. That doesn't even make sense. Forgotlings is like no different as far as like the animation. It looks gorgeous as far as that goes. Like has like almost like a Studio Ghibli kind of feel to it a little bit. In like in my mind, I kept thinking it's like almost like Studio Ghibli Brave Little Toaster in a way, because like it's a game about this realm where forgotten objects wake up as sentient beings. You are playing as Fig, who is a mannequin who is attempting to unite the 5 tribes of their world against this looming threat. So in this one, it is a Metroidvania. The combat is very light. There is combat, but you were very much encouraged to utilize stealth more than anything. So it is a lot more of like sneaking around, hiding, taking enemies out stealthily. Like you get like a variety of things that you can use to do that. Like you have a little whistle where you can just like, and then they'll like walk over and then you just like stab them or knock them out or whatever. So a lot of that, a lot of platforming and puzzle solving and stuff along with that as well. Some of that is just very satisfying though. Like there was this one part where like there was just so many bandits in this area and I'm like, I don't know how I'm going to get through that, because again, like there doesn't seem like there is a lot you can do combat wise in this game. So I'm like, there's no way I'm going to beat all these guys. But then I find a way up. Like it takes me a little while, but I eventually find a way up above them. There's so many things for me to break and drop heavy things on top of them. And I took all of them out that way. And then I could sneak down and rescue somebody.
Oh.
That was satisfying. Very satisfying.
Yeah. So you have to think about it more tactically than run in with your sword.
Yes.
Like slashing away. Yeah.
Yeah. Especially like, at least in the area that I was in, which was the Sanavi area, like the bandits and stuff, like even if one sees you or if you don't take them out like immediately, they will alert everybody else. So it's just like, oh man. So you got to be really careful. But it was cool. I don't know, like, I just was not sure if it's one for me or not, but like, I'm very interested, and the story is something that I really, really liked. And I think it's one of those things too, that it definitely renewed my interest in like going back and actually finally playing Forgotten Anne, because I think this is like a direct sequel to it or something, because I know that this character appears in Forgotten Anne also. So,
okay.
I'm really interested to see what all this is about.
This is one I would watch if it were a movie for sure. I just based off what you're saying, I don't know if I would find as much enjoyment from it, but maybe I would. Like it still has like those Metroidvania-esque elements to it. It's just lighter on the combat, which I can be fine with depending on the story itself, which looks really strong.
Yeah, I think that probably is the strong suit of it. That and the visuals, of course, because it does look absolutely gorgeous. Like all hand-drawn animation. Lots of like care put into it, like really good music too. Like you'll see if you scroll down their Steam page, like you can see like video of them like performing with like a chorus, and they record like an orchestra and all kinds of stuff. It's just really cool. So
oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. A lot of love put into this one.
Absolutely. So yeah, really, really cool experience. Let's talk about one that you played. So tell me about The Last Citadel.
Oh, yeah. So Last Citadel is sort of like an MMO light. Well, I say that. It's not an MMO at all. It's a multiplayer, like third-person roguelike shooter, but it has MMO-like roles to it, or just like basic party roles that you can choose from. Like you have your tank, your healer, your DPS, things like that. You've got that holy trinity there, but you've also got like all these different roles as well to kind of fill in different sort of, I guess, aspects of a team. So up to 4 players, and playing through it, like I enjoyed the demo that I did play. I got through the whole thing. So it's totally manageable solo as well, at least on the normal difficulty. I'm sure that like once you get with harder difficulties, like you're going to want to have that like healer, tank support and whatnot. But like, In normal difficulties, it's completely manageable, but it didn't feel like so easy that I could just like breeze through it. Like it was a good challenge at times, and the upgrades you're picking up along the way are satisfying as well. This was developed and published, I'll say that before I forget to, by Honest Demon, which that's such a cool name. The only game that they have to their name right now, so it might be their first game.
I like that they're honest about being a demon, you know?
Yeah, those are the best kind of demons, the honest ones.
Yeah.
As you go through the level and you progress, you are upgrading your weapons, you're getting new skills, passive skills. You're getting different choices of weapons. There are weapons that will benefit whatever class you are more, or your class itself will start with different skills and different weapons that it leans more into. And then it looks like as you level up further, you're able to make like sort of custom classes as well, which I assume would just mean that you're able to kind of either choose a starting weapon and or just choose how your stats are distributed. There's a lot here that I did enjoy about it. It's one that I could definitely see myself playing more of. And I'm sure there's going to be a lot to keep you coming back, even if you're able to beat a run, like there's always more to come back to keep drawing you in. And it seems like these are randomized maps as well, or like generated maps, so that you're not playing the same map at any point. The central hub has areas in it where you can like join a party or like, gather up as a party and then do some basic things like choose your class, choose what like shop for different weapons with the currency you're picking up from different runs, things like that. So it's got some general roguelike things to it, but it is definitely built with multiplayer in mind. Though I did enjoy it as a single player experience. So I'm not trying to like turn anybody off of it by saying that.
It's got a really interesting visual style though.
It's a little bit of a Borderlands-esque style as far as like the cell shaded backgrounds.
I don't know. There's almost like some Doom stuff in there too, like as far as like some of the enemy looks and stuff. And
definitely demon like enemies for sure.
Yeah. It's really cool looking.
But then it also has like a cyberpunk kind of like aesthetic to the characters, at least.
Exactly. It's so interesting.
I'll also say, because I don't think I even mentioned this at all, that it is like a third-person shooter game. So it's not like an action roguelike. It's a third-person shooter where you're all teaming up together. So just think of something like, I don't know, Destiny or whatever you want to. And it's like that, but a roguelike and on just more like controlled maps. So you're going like level to level, leveling your stuff up, going towards bosses, and just seeing how far you can get as a team.
I was wondering if we were going to see more roguelike shooters like this, especially after Dead Zone Rogue. And it looks like we're probably gonna start seeing quite a few like that. I think Dead Zone's success is definitely going to be kicking off like as we were kind of talking earlier, like we get those one games that just sort of like boom an entire subgenre, and I definitely think that's going to be happening here.
Yeah, and I don't even know, that's probably not even like the original one of those like in that case first person roguelikes, but like shooter roguelikes in general, FPS roguelikes. Dead Zone Rogue is one that stood out the most to me last year, so that would be like a number one contender if I were to say like what's my favorite FPS roguelike. It's definitely Dead Zone Rogue so far.
Yeah, absolutely. Plus they keep adding new content, so
yeah, for free.
I got two more for you real quick before we move on. This next one I really think that you would get into. This is called Lethal Dungeon. This is a roguelike card game. I would say very Slay the Spire-like, though I think honestly it is more akin to One Turn Kill, which we covered just like a few weeks ago.
I'm seeing that because it's like you have to kill all the enemies in one turn.
Yes, exactly. And the idea of it is basically, that is sort of like the core concept there. In addition to that, you also want to try to use as few cards as possible to do it. The reason being is any leftover cards earns you currency. And it's like, I think like 30 coins or something per leftover card. So let's say you defeat the enemies, you have 3 leftover cards, that's like almost 100 you get right there. You're going to need that money real bad. One, to not only like pad your deck and like, get rid of cards you don't want and replace them with like better cards. You can also upgrade those cards so they do, better things things, more damage, or like the effects that they have increase. You can also buy trinkets to obviously, like in any roguelike, help your build and stuff as you go. But also, as opposed to like one turn kill and things of that nature, let's say you ran out of cards and like you don't just like die in this thing. You can run out of cards and still like not be dead. And what you have is a menu in which you can buy cards from your own deck during the battle. So it's like, as long as you still have a pool of money, you can still make it out without losing the run. So like maybe you are like, okay, I know I can do this, but I do have to buy like one more card and I need this card to be able to pull this off. And it's like, once you've gotten through the cards you've got, you go, you buy that one card, and then maybe you can get through it. But like, you do that and then you've exhausted all your cards. So that's kind of like the catch to it, right? So you're not going to earn anything at the end of that round. So you've ended up like losing money on it because one, you've spent money, and it's a lot of money to do that. It's like 100, I think, coins to buy,
but it's like a last ditch effort kind of thing.
Yes, exactly. So it's like 100 coins to buy one out of your deck. You won't get anything if you've used all your cards, So this is absolutely a game I could keep playing.
I can't remember if you ended up playing One Turn Kill.
I did. I really liked One Turn Kill.
Do you like this one better, or how do you feel like they compare aside from the One Turn Kill aspect of both of them?
I think this one is a little bit more forgiving than One Turn Kill is, but it does present, a challenge in a different way, because it's in One Turn Kill, it's very much like, if you can't do it in the one turn, obviously, like, you die, you got to start over. And also that has like more narrative to it that I find very intriguing. Whereas with this one, you're also having to balance your money, like your currency and everything. So I think that having that as a system and having that as actually like a core system, I think just presents a completely different challenge to it. But I think one that is a little bit, again, more forgiving than One Turn Kill is. But what this game has that One Turn Kill doesn't have is that the tutorial, the way that it teaches you how to do everything, is your character has a little hand puppet that tells you how to do everything.
Oh my God.
So
sold. I love
that. Just saying. Yeah.
Wow.
I love that. It's just a cheeky little thing. So
yeah, this is going on my wish list for sure. I think it's not out yet as far as when we're recording
tomorrow.
This, but
yeah.
Okay, cool.
Let me talk about my last one real quick. This is one that I'd been looking forward to for a while, and I've a little bit of mixed feelings over it, but for the most part, I think it's really cool. This is Demon Tides. So this was developed and published by Fabraz. This is a follow-up to Demon Turf, starring Beebs, a demon girl who can turn into different forms. And that part of it is very cool. I just want to say that right off the bat. I love all the different forms she can turn into. So the premise of this is her and her friends sail on a ship to this place called Ragnar's Rock after getting an invite from the Pirate King, who they think is looking for a meeting of like royals, because Beebs is sort of like a demon princess, if you will. The game is very, if to boil it down in my mind, because I like comparisons, like Banjo-Kazooie as far as platforming, and then very like maybe even a little bit of Spyro there. I don't know. Wind Waker as far as exploration, and then also a little bit of Jet Set Radio as far as like some of the attitude and like music and stuff to it. So it's like a cool little combination of all those things. There is a lot of abilities that Beebs has in that. For one, I think that's the fun of it. And two, I think that also creates the most challenge, and definitely created the most challenge for me. It felt pretty hard to master. There's a lot of parkouring and stuff, and I'll explain a little bit more about that in a minute. But as far as some of her abilities go, like to do like an extra little boost jump instead of just doing a double jump, when you do tap it the second time, you turn into this plump little like imp, like a little demon bat, and you kind of flutter for just a second and then before you go down, so you can get kind of an extra jump there. You can also turn into this like little spinning top demon guy that kind of floats for a little bit. You turn into a snake form. That thing is really fast on land. He can kind of roll up into a wheel and then you can zip through the land, or you can just zoom through the water really, really fast, which is great because otherwise she swims really slow. And this is a game that is full of like lots of water traversal, which is why I kind of made that Wind Waker comparison. You can wall jump, you can wall run. There's lots of climbing, lots of rail grinding. So there's a little bit of that Jet Set Radio stuff there too. And you're collecting different things at these different islands and stuff. Like the very first thing you do is collect these golden gears, and there's other artifacts and stuff. So very much more of a collectathon and 3D platformer. Very limited on combat. Like the only thing, at least I had so far, was like a single dash attack, and there was not very many enemies that you encounter. So mostly like parkour, speed running.
I'm seeing the outfit like changes that this character can get. And there's some really cute ones. Like I love the art style here, and the just being able to like customize the outfits and whatnot. Which I don't know if I wonder if they have like skills attached to them, or if they're just aesthetic. But either way, like they're really
just
cute.
Aesthetic. Yeah.
Okay.
There's a lot of different outfits and stuff that you can collect too, which is really cute. And yeah, I really like that aspect of it. I think where I was saying like the big challenge is a lot of the platforming and stuff is very vertical. So you're going up a lot, and with so many things that you have to master to like, get up to the top. It's like if you miss and you fall off, like, man, the starting over sucks when you do that, like big time. But if you remember to use it, they did include something in the game that is actually incredibly smart, which is like this flag that you can, basically a respawn flag that you can plant down. So let's say you get so far up and you're like, man, I don't like the look of the rest of this. I'm going to plant my respawn flag down right now. And it has unlimited uses. So, you don't have to worry about like running out or anything. Then if like you die or something, let's say, then you can respawn there. It really can be challenging to master all of those things, especially like the wall running, which you have to do a lot. But it is really tough to like go from like her little bat form thing to the wall run and all of that kind of stuff. There's just so many things there. But the one thing that I know you've noticed is that the game looks amazing. It's gorgeous as far as like the design, the character design, the level design and everything, the colors. It looks so incredibly good that it's got kind of like this cell shaded sort of feel to it. It definitely has a little bit of like an anime kind of feel to it in a lot of ways. And just like the world is very big and very open too. So you can kind of like pick and choose where you want to go at your leisure. Once you like get out of like the tutorial area, it's really up to you where you want to go next. I found myself really enjoying the world, really enjoying the characters and stuff, but really kind of struggling with the mechanics of it at times.
Maybe that kind of challenge would be what appeals most to me in lieu of combat, which not necessary for a game like this. I think it's something I could really sink my teeth into, or just like get a lot of enjoyment out of, is like, okay, am I timed in some way? Do I get some kind of benefit? Or like, I guess I just don't know like how chill this game is. Is it just that it has difficult kind of mechanics to master, or are you incentivized for doing things in a challenging way? I guess would be the question.
You're very incentivized. There's like quite a few time challenges for sure. And like sometimes that stuff is like absolutely necessary. Like maybe there is like a chest where you want to unlock something. And once you find the key somewhere on the island, like that key is going to go away if like you take any damage or if you don't get to that chest fast enough, right?
Ooh,
so it's like there's a lot of things like that you're going to find all over this game.
I love that. This seems like if I were to just sit and play 2 3D platformers this year so far, it would be this and Big Hops, which we talked about on a previous episode, but that is still such a fantastic game. And this one looks right up in the same kind of like ballpark.
Yeah, absolutely. I do think that this is like a platformer that I think, one, I don't think enough people are playing it right now, but I think definitely deserves the attention because there's just so much that they put into this game. And like even little things like, again, just to make more of a comparison to Jet Set, like you can tag stuff, like you can use little spray paint things, like you have a little selection of things that you can choose from and basically like tag a wall or something. And what's fun too is like that will show up in other players' games. So like, yeah, let's say I spray paint a picture of like our little Kappa friend. I think her name's Midgie. You spray paint that on a wall in a certain place. So that might show up on somebody else's game when they get to that wall. Not everyone's, but it might show up on somebody's. And that's cool to me.
That's neat. And I like little Kappas. I don't see enough Kappas in games, so I always enjoy it when I do.
Yeah. It does have some like a little bit of like goofy, kind of cringy humor to it, just in that like they use a lot of very modern slang every once in a while, mainly just like one character. And there's a few times I was just like, come on. But you know, it is what it is and it's fun. This team also is, has been hired to do the new Bubsy game. If you remember Bubsy.
Goodness. Yeah.
So yeah, they're making Bubsy
How could
4D.
I forget?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, so
I guess that's like high praise. Good for them. I mean, Bubsy's a known franchise. I don't know if it's a popular franchise, but it's a known franchise for sure.
It's a franchise. It's a franchise that at least has 4 games now since this next game's coming out. So,
man,
yeah.
I want to, along those lines, I want a new Gex. You remember Gex?
Oh, I remember Gex. I think they just did a re-release of the trilogy not that long ago, didn't they? Like a remake.
Yeah, the Gex trilogy. Oh, it came out last year. Okay, never mind. I've got Gex. I'm good.
There you go. But like, okay, if they made a new game.
I want to have this team remake Gex or do a new Gex game. I would love that.
That would be fun. I love that idea too. I do want to mention, I'm going to pivot real quick from this game and talk about one thing for Big Hops real quick, since you brought that up, because that is a great game. But they, as of recording today, which is the 19th, they just released a documentary today about the development of Big Hops. So it's free over on YouTube. You can just go to their YouTube page and find it there. I have watched maybe about maybe a third of it so far. And I'm going to finish it after we're done recording here today. So yeah, it's really cool. I definitely recommend checking it out.
Yeah, I'd be curious to watch that.
Final round.
All right, let's hurry up with our final round. Just a little lightning quick thing of other indie games either on our radar or things that we wanted to talk about. And since I did a lot of talking real quick, let's start with you real quick and see what you got.
So one of the games I'm looking forward to that actually comes out tomorrow as of record, but it didn't have a demo for it, so I couldn't even try it out, is Seal Chain Call of Blood. This is a...
That sounds crazy.
Seal, S-E-A-L chain, which is all one word together, Call of Blood. It's a roguelike game where you're linking items together to form chain reactions, and items can also be, and I'm just kind of reading this, I'm parroting like what they're saying on the page here as a description, because I don't know much about this game otherwise, but you're arranging them to like specific like formations to create these different seals, which is like the seal chain, and that's what's giving you special effects. So it's like, what it kind of reminds me of is this game that I'm blanking on the name of, but I'll find it in just a second because this is my library, Magicraft, where that's a roguelike game where you're creating your own spells, and it can get kind of crazy with how you can customize your own spells and everything. This game, Seal Chain, has it where you're kind of making your own items by chaining things together. And the art style is kind of like, you know, big boob anime girl waifus, but like if the mechanics are good, just like that one game None Holy was, and I can still get behind it.
Hey, there you go. There you go. Yeah, I really enjoy the aesthetic of this though. Like the art with the like very sort of dark purplish hues and everything. Like I'm digging that. That looks
Yeah,
good.
the art style is really cool, and the mechanics sound interesting. So that's why it's appealing to me in that sense. And one more I'll mention before you mention your other one is Emberbane. This is where it's a Metroidvania where your character controls the four elements. Fire, water, earth. It's I don't know what the four elements are in this case, but
yes.
It just you've heard of this one?
Yeah, actually, I have seen the development of this a lot on social media.
Nice.
I think I've seen the dev post a lot of stuff about this before, but I did not realize
cool.
that
This
was
is my
the name
first
of
time
it.
hearing about it.
Yeah, I didn't realize that was the name, or maybe if they changed the name or something. But yeah, I've seen a lot of this before. Cool.
Yeah, this one looks super interesting. It looks like you can play as different characters, but you're still controlling the elements with either. And it's like an action 2D platformer Metroidvania. Looks cool.
Yeah, I just remember thinking like a Metroidvania that'll let me live out my Avatar: The Last Airbender fantasies. So
Basically, yeah.
Very cool, man. Yeah, I'm gonna add this to my wish list. Hell yeah. Very cool, man. Hey, since you talked about big boob anime girls, let me tell you about it. I'm just gonna mention real quick. I'm not gonna go into super detail about it, but one more game that I actually did play, which is called Menherarium. Menherarium.
Oh, I heard about that's the dice game, right? Where you're like using blood. Yeah.
You're betting your blood. Yeah, because this girl, this cute teenage girl kidnaps you, and she's like draining your blood, and you're betting for your blood. Yes. So if you lose, she drains all your blood.
In the form of like a dice game. Is it a roguelike in the sense that you're like you can like adapt your dice in certain ways to like modify your rolls? Okay.
Absolutely. I didn't want to like it, but man, I like it. It's a good game. It's actually a really good game.
I guess like just from my initial viewings of it, it didn't look like anything that was like too like insidious or like too weird. I didn't play it, so I don't know, but like maybe it's like a controlled kind of creepy.
It's pretty controlled. So the one thing that like bothers me about it a little bit really is just in the name of it. So, and I might not be saying the name of this game right, but I think it's Menherarium. So like Menhera is supposed to be like, it's a Japanese subculture that is like mental health focused. It's like sort of like it's going to sound weird, but it's supposed to be like mentally ill and cute as hell is basically like the idea, right?
Oh, that does sound weird. Okay.
But it's supposed to be in the way of like, it's more like used lately as a way of trying to break the kind of stereotypes and stuff like that of like not being used to bash mental health and stuff. But the reason that like it kind of bugs me a little bit used in this way is because like it's just being used very much with a very sadistic girl. And I'm like, it being, I don't know, it just bothered me just a tiny bit. And I'm like, I'm not going to pretend I understand enough about the culture there to know if this is like offensive or not. But it just gave me kind of that inkling of like, not understanding it. I do see that maybe it is, but I don't know for sure. So someone smarter than me might be able to explain it. But but it is a fun game. I'll give them that.
Okay. Yeah, this was one I had seen. I didn't invest enough time into like to play it or anything, but I was curious just because of the interesting like mechanics behind it.
Yeah, I think you'll like it. Honestly, it is very much a Joseph style roguelike for sure.
Cool.
The last game I wanted to mention real quick was just one that I'm looking forward to trying to play for hopefully next week, which is Dice a Million. This is like another like roguelike deck builder, but like dice builder kind of thing. We got sent a key for it from the publisher. So why
neat.
not try it? Why not? So very much looking forward to that. I think it's like you modify like using like rings and stuff that you put on your fingers, and I think that changes some aspects and stuff. I haven't looked into it super hard yet, but like I read the dev's email or the publisher's email the other day, saw the key and stuff, and then just now looked it up on Steam, and I was like, yeah, this does look cool. So yeah, I definitely am gonna want to play this one.
It's interesting. It looks like it's pulling a lot of elements from similar games. I guess my first comparison would be like Balatro, in the sense that your initial thing is like rolling dice into this cube or into this like squared space, and then those totals are being modified by, like you were saying, the rings that are on your finger. Yeah, so those are essentially the Joker's equivalent. I'm not saying this is like a Balatro knockoff at all.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that's what it reminded me of with the modifications.
And it looks like there's a ton of different dice. So it looks like you are swapping your dice in and out and stuff too, to like add to that
cool.
Also. So,
yeah.
And I'm assuming with an escalating blind that goes up to, I'm assuming, 1 million. So
it
looks cool.
Looks like it from the description alone. Have you ever tried to roll 1 million on a set of dice? So I guess
Right?
maybe that's the ultimate goal.
Yeah, roll 1 million, dice 1 million. You got to dice 1 million. Yeah, hoping to play that for next week possibly, though I think next week is going to be the first Steam Next Fest of 2026.
Let me tell you something real quick that may or may not excite you more about playing this game.
Oh boy.
The publisher, Two Left Thumbs, also published Underboard, which
that's right.
still am playing because it's such a fun game.
Oh yeah, so it was like Graham from Two Left Thumbs is the one that sent us the key for Underboard also. So same.
Yeah.
Super cool guy. Yeah. So,
okay, awesome. Well, there
thanks,
you go.
Graham.
That's then another just nod to Underboard, because that one I'm just really liking so much.
Yeah, I really love that one too.
Game over.
Hey, if you had a good time listening to this episode, stick around for that bumper so you can learn how to support the show and all the things we do here at Nerd Sloth Creative. You can also check our show notes for our link tree, which will take you to our social media, our Discord, our merch store, and all the other cool things. Get in touch with us, though. Let us know what indie games you are playing and help us elevate these games so we can help support all these super cute indie devs. Yeah, you heard me. They're cute. I'm just saying it now. That's my stance. They're cute. That's game over for us. My name's Chris.
I'm Joseph.
And we'll continue on the next episode.
Continue.
Indie Game Arcade is recorded and produced by Nerd Sloth Creative. If you're looking for more gaming content, head over to youtube.com/nerdsloth for indie game let's plays and recommendations. If you'd like to support the show, head over to patreon.com/nerdsloth, where you can select a pledge and receive access to hundreds of hours of bonus content from everything at Nerd Sloth Creative. If you're an indie game developer and would like us to review your game or explore other opportunities, send an email to nerdslothcreative@gmail.com with the subject line Indie Game Arcade. Thanks for listening, and keep supporting indie game devs.